manufacturers, bankers, lawyers, accountants, and web designers considering investing in a new business would normally be expected to conduct a marketing study before making an investment. However, people embarking on a new career in these same fields generally rely on prospective employers, professional associations, and business schools to inform them about opportunities in their chosen field.
Their websites, information sessions, and their brochures are really sales tools. They're designed to encourage prospective entrants to invest in their particular course of studies or professional program. They are not objective and unbiased. They should not be relied on, at least not uncritically. Without experience in a particular occupation, it is hard for students to make an informed choice about something as important as a career choice. This presentation is meant for people considering an investment in an accounting career or in an accounting business.
In 2018, Wasp Barcode Technologies released a report entitled Small Business Report Accounting. The information contained in the report is invaluable for accounting practitioners in this country. Unfortunately, they pulled the report from their website recently. Luckily, we saved much of the data from the report and are able to present it here. I read from the introduction prepared by the company. Every year, small businesses are faced with challenges in taxes, accounting, and outsourcing financial services. Wasp Barcode Technologies surveyed 393 small business leaders to create a business accounting report to share the thoughts of small business owners. Wasp's goal in conducting the survey was to continue to bring crucial data to small business owners so they can make more informed business decisions. This free report provides data to give a better understanding of the small business accounting landscape.
The study clearly had two different aims. First, to help the company understand the market for their product, and second, to help them connect with prospective customers.
Why is it relevant for people interested in the accounting services industry? First, they believe that the best market for their barcode scanning system was among companies with more sophisticated inventory systems, and with the skilled accountants needed to oversee those inventory systems. Second, the study looked at the roles of both internal and external accountants, the type of services that management outsourced, and their satisfaction with those services. For what it's worth, the results of the study also align with my own understanding of the market, developed during 40 years as a tax auditor and tax practitioner. In short, the study provided insights that all of those interested in accounting as an occupation, including prospective entrants into the field, should find valuable.
The size of a business is a key determinant of a business management information and tax compliance needs. Our smallest businesses are very important to Canada's economy, and their needs for information and regulatory compliance differ a great deal from those of their larger siblings. About 78% of firms in Canada's accounting services industry have only one or two practitioners. Their clients are not much bigger. Fully 76% of Canadians are either self-employed or employed by small businesses. In 2018, there were about 3.87 million working Canadians in this group. The average size of businesses they worked for was only about 7 people.
The Wasp Barcode study examines some shared characteristics of small businesses with between 11 and 100 employees. They ignore the very small businesses that make up the greatest part of Canada's small business sector. Specifically, the study targeted organizations with inventories that would be potential consumers of their barcode technology. They were primarily concerned with internal and external accounting needs and the perspectives of accountants and senior management about how those needs were met. For whatever reason, business schools, academics, policymakers, professional organizations, and the business press all have a cognitive bias favoring large and medium-sized businesses. Their attention seems exclusively concerned with our largest small businesses, and with the large and medium-sized businesses that together account for less than 25% of private sector employment. For that reason, the Wasp Barcode study is invaluable for anyone actually interested in understanding how accounting services are consumed by Canadian businesses.
In this chart, we break down the number of self-employed and the people employed in Canadian businesses as a function of the size of business. The majority of accounting firms are included in the first two groups on the left, in blue. The next three groups, in red, represent the larger small businesses included in the study. The medium-sized and large businesses, in gray, only total about 25,000 firms. These are what business schools, professional bodies, policymakers, and our business press are primarily focused on.
As you can clearly see from the chart, while there is more emphasis on the largest businesses, only about 25% of Canadian private sector workers actually work for these larger businesses. At SBA Canada, we believe that it is realistic for most new entrants in the profession to consider the likelihood that they will provide services to the small business sector. On CPA Canada's website, visitors wanting to understand why they might want to become a CPA are told that doing so will make them recognized leaders exerting global influence. That certainly won't happen early in their career. Given the prevalence of misinformation generally, we believe that the Wasp Barcode study gives us some important insights from a very important sector of the real market for accounting services. The Wasp Barcode study looked at companies with between 11 and 100 employees throughout North America. They were presumably trying to gather business intelligence or perhaps to make contact with decision makers that would be able to influence their companies to purchase barcode technology. One important aspect of the study was the way they categorized companies studied by business size. This gives us unique insights into how requirements and needs vary by size. For marketers, and for prospective entrants into the profession, this is a goldmine. Generally, statistical data about specific occupations is aggregated for the economy as a whole. The Wasp Barcode study gave us valuable insights about particular demographics within the small business sector, specific to the accounting services occupation. Using this demographic data, we can begin to identify the preferences and purchasing behaviors of prospective customers or employers. When they report on the percentage of companies of a specific size that hire CFOs or controllers, they are discussing the likelihood of a company with that demographic hiring someone as a CFO or controller. Typically, accountants are employed as controllers. They may also be considered for the role of CFO.
In this slide, the study looks at the highest full-time accounting position in the company across the entire population of the sample. Perhaps the most exciting finding is that only 42% of respondents had financial professionals in what we traditionally consider a leadership role. In 43% of respondents, the company owner answered the survey. We presume in those companies, the owner either took on that role themselves or outsourced that function externally.
Canada is primarily a small business economy. More than 99% of our businesses are small. This study focused on the largest 7.5% of those businesses. Even among that rarefied group, only 57% had a financial professional in a leadership position. Only about 5% of Canada's businesses have a trained financial professional in leadership. These comprise our largest small businesses and the country's 25,000 large and medium-sized businesses. More than half of our financial leaders in the private sector are not members of any accounting body. About half have come from the operational side of the business and have an undergraduate degree, an engineering degree, or an MBA. The remainder are either CPA Canada members or have an accounting designation from another country.
This slide itemizes the accounting services that are most frequently outsourced to external accountants and other service providers. Overwhelmingly, the largest small businesses studied here outsource income tax preparation services. However, this is also true for our smallest businesses as well as Canada's largest 25,000 businesses. Payroll is also frequently outsourced, and the tendency increases as a function of business size. This function is usually outsourced to payroll specialist firms. Audit services are used primarily by larger businesses that wish to borrow from conventional lenders against the strength of their financial statements. This service can only be outsourced to members of CPA Canada.
The remainder of the study looks at Canada's largest small businesses' attitudes toward their public accountants. In this slide, they look at levels of satisfaction and dissatisfaction. Generally, the businesses studied have a favorable view of their external accountant. Here, the study looks at the value and importance of the services provided by public accountants in relation to those of other professionals. Clearly, public accountants are doing something right. At SBA Canada, we believe that this study provides good value for anyone interested in the accounting services industry and accounting as a career choice. Perhaps the most important thing we've learned is that Canada's small businesses value the income tax services provided by their public accountants. We've also learned that professionally trained accountants in senior management roles are less common than either our professional accounting bodies or our business schools would have us believe.